Hello everyone, I am Aayush Belekar and today I'll be taking you through a fascinating journey into one of the most important models in software engineering, the COCOMO model, developed by Barry Boehm back in 1981. It still guides the software cost estimation today. So let's dive right in. Imagine you're about to build a skyscraper. You will need to estimate the cost, time, and manpower, right? Similarly, in software development, the COCOMO model provides a mathematical way to estimate effort, cost, and schedule. Think of it as a GPS that helps project managers avoid blind guesses and make informed decisions. COCOMO provides a mathematical framework for estimating software development effort based on lines of code and various project factors. The main objectives of COCOMO are firstly, effort estimation, predicting how many person and months a project will need. Second, schedule estimation, setting realistic deadlines. And third, resource allocation, deciding how many developers are required. In short, it brings clarity, accuracy, and confidence into project planning. COCOMO doesn't treat all software projects equally, it classifies them into three types. Firstly, organic projects. Small teams, simple problems, familiar territory can be comprised as organic projects. For example, a small website. Then we have embedded projects, which are highly complex, demanding, and critical, like air traffic control and banking systems are the best examples for embedded projects. Then comes semi-detached projects. These projects lie in between organic and embedded projects. These are moderately complex and for example, building a compiler can be termed as a semi-detached project. Then we have types of COCOMO models. Firstly, basic COCOMO, quick and simple, based on lines of code. Intermediate COCOMO adds cost drivers, making estimates more realistic. COCOMO 2 or complete or detailed COCOMO model, the most advanced model, fitting into today's object oriented, reusable, and iterative software world. Each step increases accuracy. Here's the heart of COCOMO, the formula. Effort E is equal to A into K log to the power B. Project duration D is equal to C into effort to the power D, which is represented in months. Person required is equal to effort upon project duration. Let's take an example. If we have 10,000 lines of code, depending on whether the project is organic or embedded, the effort and manpower changes drastically. For example, for organic, you might need 3 developers, but for embedded, you may need double that. The same code size, but very different realities. That's the magic of COCOMO. But the code size alone isn't enough. That's where intermediate COCOMO shines. It introduces 15 cost drivers that reflect real world challenges, things like product complexity, database size, hardware limitations, programmer skills, and even how distributed your team is. These cost drivers fall into four big categories. First, product attributes. Reliability, complexity, and database sizes are discussed into product attributes. Then we have computer attributes, which discuss about the storage limits, execution times, platform stability. Personal attributes. These depends on the individual skill and experience for the developers, experience of developers and analysts. Project attributes, tools, processes, and schedule flexibility. These topics are the main categories which are to be discussed before designing a COCOMO model. Here are some advantages and limitations of the intermediate COCOMO model. The intermediate model is more accurate and great for risk management, but it also needs more input data, which may not always be available, and it still fits best in structured plan-driven projects. Fast forward to modern times, we have COCOMO 2 or the complete or detailed COCOMO model, which handles today's challenges, object-oriented systems, rapid application development, and reuse of components and agile-like iterations. It gives far better estimation accuracy by considering more factors and scale drivers. Early adjustment cost factors. In COCOMO 2, the early adjustment cost factors is used to refine the basic effort estimation. It accounts for real world project conditions that can either increase or decrease the total development effort. The EAF is the product of ratings for several cost drivers, and it directly modifies the person month effort estimated from the basic size based formula. Effort is equal to A into K log to the power B into EAF. Platform factors such as execution time, constraints, and platform volatility, personal factors, team skills, continuity, and past experience, project factors like tool support and distributed development. It even considers reusability and schedule compression. These make the estimates much more realistic. So then next up we have team supports and tools. Use of case tools, version control, and automation improves productivity. Required development schedule, schedule compression. If deadlines are compressed, more parallel work is required, which increases overall cost and complexity. Impact of EAF. EAF is equal to 1. Average project, no significant adjustments. EAF greater than 1, more effort needed, which terms the project as complex, constrained, and inexperienced team. EAF less than 1, efforts less needed, simple system, experienced team, and good tools. Why EAF is important? It helps project managers identify risks early, improves budgeting and scheduling accuracy. COCOMO 2 also introduces the 5 scale factors. Before moving on to the scale factors, here we have a diagram which describes COCOMO 2 model and gives us a clear vision about the COCOMO 2 model. Moving forward, the scale factors: precedentedness, flexibility, risk resolution, team cohesion, and process maturity. These reflect whether efforts grow smoothly or exponentially as project gets bigger. And it's not just one model, it includes 3 submodels: application composition model for prototyping, early design model for initial planning, post architectural model for detailed estimates. So, COCOMO 2 adapts to different stages of development. Here are the advantages and limitations of COCOMO 2 model. To wrap up, COCOMO 2 is powerful, flexible, and realistic. It can handle reuse, modern practices, and project of all sizes, but it's also data hungry and still assumes structured development. Like any tool, its value depends on how wisely you use it. So the next time you hear about software project estimation, think of COCOMO model, a model that turned guesswork into science. Thank you.